So what was the question again? Oh, why is it called the traffic jam? Well, you know, the reason is, it's because I have two really cool cars. Seriously cool cars. And I love drifting, racing, because I am fast and slick. And plus, I like to create a bit of traffic jam myself with a whole lot of great music. Burunaka, my name is Real, your host and DJ, right here on the Today FM Traffic Jam every weekday from 3 p.m. to 7. Right here on Today FM, today's hit music.
In this bulletin, Chinese President Xi Jinping signs numerous agreements during state visit. Education Minister welcomes increase in 2015 budget. And opposition leader Rote Mumukepa commends certain budget initiatives. Good evening, I'm Jacquee Speight and this is FBC News. The President of China, Xi Jinping, arrived in Nandi last night, becoming the second leader to visit Fiji in less than a week. President Xi leads the most populous nation in the world. His visit is sure to see some major deals signed between Fiji and China. Christopher Chand reports.
The Chinese President Xi Jinping arrived shortly after 6 p.m. The Air China 747 jumbo jet welcomed with a water cannon salute. This is the first time in history that a Chinese president is visiting Fiji. President Xi and First Lady Pang Liyuan are here on a 3-day state visit. President Xi inspected a 100-man guard of honor shortly after his arrival. He was then greeted by cabinet ministers before heading to Ndenarau. Later in the night, he was accorded a traditional welcome ceremony.
As soon as we set foot on the soil of Fiji, we are welcomed not only by your picturesque tropical island landscape, but also the warm smiles of the Fijian people, which is a great reminder of your profound friendship towards the Chinese people.
Today we welcome you with this ceremony in acknowledgement of how special your visit is to us. I'm confident that it will have a positive impact not only on China's relationship with Fiji, but with the entire region.
The Chinese president left Australia after attending the G20 summit last week and New Zealand earlier this week. He leaves tomorrow morning. Christopher Chand, FBC News.
Fiji is benefiting from the visit by Chinese President Xi Jinping through a number of agreements that have been signed between the two countries. 4 memoranda of understanding, an agreement on economic and technical cooperation, and the construction of a sports complex are among the list of assistance being given to Fiji. The 6 signings are symbolic of China further strengthening its diplomatic ties with Fiji and the region. Christopher Chand reports.
President Xi Jinping and Prime Minister Voreqe Bainimarama have forged stronger relations following their meeting at Ndenarau this morning. China reaffirming its continued support towards Fiji.
China and Fiji, though geographically far apart, our bilateral relationship and the friendship between our two countries have long crossed mountains and rivers and grown from strength to strength. Since the establishment of a diplomatic relationship in 1975, the tremendous development of our bilateral relationship has not only benefited the people of two countries, but also made a positive contribution.
The 4 MOUs include visa exemption for Fiji citizens traveling to China, an establishment of a Chinese cultural center in Fiji, provision of goods to address climate change in Fiji, and defense cooperation. There was an agreement signed for economic and technical cooperation and an exchange of letters for the construction of a sports complex at Vunindawa.
Excellency, the support we have received from China over the last 7 years has aided our national development. The period has been marked by a steady increase in Chinese assistance to Fiji through favorable lending arrangements, infrastructure development, technical assistance, and cultural exchanges.
China has also signed MOUs with Pacific Island countries like the Federated States of Micronesia, Samoa, PNG, Vanuatu, Cook Islands, Tonga, and Niue.
The very purpose of my visiting Fiji this time and also convening a collective meeting with heads of states and government from the Pacific Island countries is to deepen our traditional friendship and promote mutually beneficial cooperation. I look forward to a most productive visit and stand ready to work together with all our friends from Fiji and other island countries to jointly ushering a better future for our bilateral relations.
As a global superpower, China's enhanced relations with Pacific Island countries is a sign of their recognition of small island states. Fiji has this week cemented its position as a leader in the region, hosting both the Prime Minister of India and the President of China. Christopher Chand, FBC News.
Now, in reacting to the 2015 budget allocation, Education Minister Dr. Mahendra Reddy says they can continue to provide free education to all students. The Education Ministry has been allocated $556 million for next year. Akusita Tale reports this will continue the drive to provide Fijian students with access to free and quality education at all levels.
It's an increase of $30 million from last year and makes up 17% of the total budget.
We're quite delighted about the recognition that Finance Minister has given to the Education Ministry, and this is in line with the government's vision about the kind of education that we would want to have in the country.
The free education scheme has seen a 3% increase in enrollment, resulting in a $35 million allocation for primary school education and $31.4 million for secondary schools. $7 million is for recruiting 142 new teachers for primary schools and 206 for secondary school teachers. About $5 million is for new schools as the demand grows from rural and maritime islands.
This development in the faraway maritime region will enable more students to attend school close to home. This will also mean parents will be much closer to their children and be able to guide them through these formative years.
A new approach to technical and vocational training will be introduced in 2015 to cover for the shortage of labor in construction and other booming sectors. 3 technical colleges will be built in Suva, Nandi and Lambasa, and come 2016, 10 more are expected to be operational. A sum of $52.5 million is allocated for tertiary education loan scheme, which will now cover students at technical colleges.
These are major initiatives along with the other minor initiatives that we will be undertaking by the Education Ministry.
USP has been allocated $36.6 million, while $38.6 million will go to FNU. Unifiji will receive $2.5 million. Agosita Tale, FBC News.
Coming up, Burger King to open new fast food chain in Nandi next year.
Isang mula na mo orang cuma matang ni kuan ni rangon ni bibo kamar tagi ke misa apa? Ni ada di sambulu bidang na serong di sana. Ni cuma kira na mo orang cuma. Tu na sile. Ni sambula, oyo Mr. Ben. Kelapa. Nama kira ni bibo mataka mo ni kira mo orang bukan main ono. Kena liwa, Enabula FM. Apa
Welcome back. This is FBC News. Leader of Opposition Rotemu Mokepa says the government's budget, particularly on education, is progressive. While Kepa welcomed the 2015 budget, she noted the budget deficit was cause for concern, with government spending more. Maggie Boyle reports.
SODELPA opposition members this morning returned to Parliament for the 2015 budget address. Their day started with a point of order raised by Ratu Esotse even before the budget address began.
With the tabling of the appropriation bill, also the estimates. So those are the two that are covered by standing orders. Standing orders either 50 or 51. In terms of the other bills, which were consequential bills, that one you have to request an amendment to the standing orders.
And that's what the opposition had asked for the Speaker to rule on?
That's what we needed a clarification on.
On the budget itself, Rotemu says the government will have to be stringent to ensure the national deficit doesn't widen further.
I thought it was an interesting budget and creative. Our concern is that the deficit, which I believe he had mentioned, 213 million, we hope that they will be able to manage the activities well, so that at the end of the day they can balance out their figures, so we do not have a higher deficit than what they had forecasted.
The former Education Minister, however, did concede that there are positives in the 2015 budget.
It is good that they have announced it is something new with the technical colleges, of which there are going to be 3, I think, from Suvarnabhumi corridor, and 1 in the west and 1 in the north. Because many of our students are not academically inclined. So this will cater for over 50% of the students who would not normally get into tertiary.
The opposition leader adds the education initiatives will ultimately benefit the entire workforce. Maggie Boyle, FBC News.
Finance Minister Ayeside Kayum announced a 20% increase in the annuities of retired government workers.
Retired government workers were overlooked when government workers received pay rises in 2012. We will increase the annuities in 2015 by 20%. And this includes former Prime Ministers, Members of Parliament and civil servants.
The increase in annuities will come into effect from 2015. The Ministry of Health has decided what steps to take upon the arrival of 27 police officers from Liberia at the end of this month. The West African nation has been the worst affected by the Ebola pandemic. Rashika Kumar has the details.
The 27 police officers are in the Liberian capital of Monrovia, one of the hotspots of the Ebola outbreak. For communicable diseases in Fiji, Dr. Mike Kama says there will be no isolation of the men when they arrive in Nandi.
When they come in, we will recommend self-monitoring for 21 days. The force has contextualized it to their institution, the police force. So they have a medical unit led by Dr. Mbale Kuramboye, who's basically a very active member of the multi-agency technical advisory group. So these protocols are contextualized within the institution, all with a big overriding target of preventing the spread.
The Defence Ministry, the Police Force and the Ministry of Health are working together to make all the necessary preparation to prevent any possibility of Ebola spreading in Fiji.
We've got that package, all in all, in terms of preparing for a likely importation of an Ebola case. And the hope is that we'll be able to identify it when it comes in, the Ebola case, and isolate it and basically prevent any further spread.
Apart from preparing for the arrival of police officers, authorities are also informing visitors about the Ebola outbreak and the signs they need to look for if they have been in any of the countries affected by the disease. Over half of the newly reported cases are occurring in the capital Monrovia, where most of the police officers are based. 2 more police officers will arrive in January, with the final 24 landing in May. Similar procedures will be followed with these policemen. Rashika Kumar, FBC News.
A week of awareness on preventing child abuse and neglect has begun, with parents and guardians urged to make time for children and listen to their concerns. Jacquee reports.
The Ministry for Women and Children will hold programs throughout Fiji with a key message of increasing child protections and care. The Executive Director for Project Heaven Trust, Dr. Kitione Rawalai, says child protection and care is everyone's responsibility.
I think it is very vital, and it's just the right thing to be doing right now, because it is something that the public and the community should be aware of, to spend more time with their children, because molding their child, will start, molding a citizen will start from home at a very early age.
Dibuki Busarongo, a youth member of the Christian Mission Fellowship, believes strong family values are important for child protection.
It comes down to the love that's present in the family, and that's something that's not easily taught, something that needs to grow at home.
The government introduced the Child Welfare Decree in 2010, which allows anyone to report any case of child abuse to the ministry.
Ever since then, you have increased, the numbers have increased, the reports have come to us, on this issue. So which means people out there are aware of the fact that, child abuse and neglect is not something that we should tolerate now.
The theme for the Long Week Awareness Campaign is Make Time to Guide a Child. Similar events will be held in various divisions to ensure the message reaches as much of the community as possible. Jacquee, FBC News.
A major fast food chain from the United States, Burger King, will soon be opening a store in Fiji. Multibuy Group has secured the rights to the franchise. Ellen Stolz has more.
Burger King has 274 restaurants and 8,000 employees around the world, and by March next year it will open its newest branch in Nandi.
We were selected after the international selection process, we were shortlisted, and then following a number of interviews, submissions, our group were accorded the exclusive franchise for Burger King in Fiji.
Burger King was founded in 1954 by James McLemore and David Edgerton in Miami, Florida. As the name suggests, the franchise specializes in burgers, almost any kind imaginable. The Multibuy Group in Fiji is an investment giant with many businesses to its name, be it media, grocery stores or properties. Company CEO and group chairman Kirit Patel says over time, Burger King will branch out from Nandi.
We have been looking at a number of sites, and they are all over Fiji. We will be starting in Nandi. We're looking at some other properties where we can have a drive-through.
While Multibuy doesn't disclose how much has been spent on the new venture, he does say that it will all depend on how successful the business turns out to be.
The arrival of Burger King will not only give consumers a choice when it comes to fast food, but it also means huge investments into the economy, as well as the creation of more jobs. Ellen Stolz, FBC News.
Stay with us in sports. 3 new inclusions in National Sevens team. And Super One retains FMF Central Chow Games title.
छू 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 हे नमस्ते फीजी, आपके हर एक प्रॉब्लम की दवा लेकर मैं आ गई हूँ 9 से 12 बजे तक आपकी सहेली रेनू। छू 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 40 में 20 का दिखना है। मैं हूँ ना आपके साथ में मिर्ची एफएम पर 9 से 12 बजे तक मंडे टू फ्राइडे। मिर्ची, इट्स हॉट।
Welcome back. This is FBC Sports. Vodafone Fiji Sevens coach Ben Ryan has roped in 3 players to his final 12-man squad to take to the Dubai and South Africa tournaments. Ryan has labelled the squad as an exciting one and is optimistic of their chances in the next 2 legs of the IRB Sevens World Series. Charlin Vakavaka has more.
The 12-man squad to Dubai and South Africa was announced today at the Uprising Beach Resort in Pacific Harbour. The side includes 9 survivors that featured in Gold Coast, with the inclusion of veteran Nosoni Roko, Aminoni Nasilasila and Chone Ngorobarua.
I think every time we name a Fijian team, it's going to come with the sentence, it's an exciting team. Well, we know that. We've scored more points than any team has in the World Series for 8 years in Gold Coast. And we've added 2 pretty sensational wingers into the team as well. And only Nasila Silla that missed out through injury for Gold Coast selection. So it's a tough and rugged team as well.
Nasila Silla was unfortunate to miss out on the Gold Coast Sevens due to injury, and Ryan is excited by the range of skills the Ratu Felice playmaker will bring to the squad.
He's the fittest player in the squad, almost finished the yo-yo test, rugby league background, tough kid, plays playmaker or halfback, strong in the tackle, got a lovely footwork, good distribution, just good rugby player. No, he's decision making well, allows me with him and Vatimo Avuvu in there as backup playmakers and 9s for Oscar if we need to ever move to rover or wing, gives us more combinations.
Ryan is once again banking on the players' fitness and rugby talents to bolster Fiji's chances in Dubai and South Africa. The team will depart our shores next Thursday. Salendo Rakadak, FBC Sports.
The Vodafone Flying Fijian side last Europe Tour test for 2014 against the USA Eagles is underway in France. Fiji is leading USA 15-0 in the second half, although the side is playing with 14 men after hooker Tuapati Talamaitonga was sin-binned late in the first spell. Winger Watisoni Votu scored 2 tries with fullback Timothy Nangusa also touching down for a 5-pointer. Centre Nemani Nandolo added 10 points with the boot. The Fijians had a man in the sin-bin on 2 occasions, with Votu and hooker Tuapati Talamaitonga given the marching orders. The Eagles were able to mount a comeback with 2 tries, but the Fiji defence held on until the final whistle. The Vodafone Fiji under-20 football side was beaten 7-1 by Busatin of Bahrain in the OFC President's Cup last night in New Zealand. This was our first outing against a fully fledged professional side. The Fijians also lost Tuivuna and Saula Wanga to red cards for foul play. Coach Ravinesh Kumar says the players need these sort of games to prepare for the 2015 FIFA Under-20 World Cup. Fiji will now play Bodden Town of the Cayman Islands in the 5th and 6th position playoffs tomorrow. In another match, Auckland City thumped Bodden 9-0. City will play Amical of Vanuatu in the final, while the Singapore Under-23 side plays Busatin in the 3rd and 4th place playoffs. Suva 1 has retained the FMF Central Child Games title at the ANZ Stadium. The defending champions managed to hold off a strong challenge from rivals Suva 2 and Tailevu South to retain another year's worth of bragging rights. No records were broken during the 2-day competition, which attracted over 700 athletes. Tailevu South were the surprise package, finishing in 3rd spot ahead of title contenders Nasinu. Former national netball rep Vilimai Nandavu and former sprint king Chonendelai were inducted into the Fiji Sports Hall of Fame last night. The special ceremony was held at the Novotel Hotel in Lami and paid tribute to not only these 2 stars, but past athletes and administrators that have dedicated their lives to sports. Chalindau Vakadaka reports.
Members of the sports community attended the Fiji Sports Hall of Fame induction ceremony at Novotel Hotel in Lami. Former netball captain and Silver Ferns defender William Mendabu joined a prestigious group of people that have stamped their mark in Fiji sports history.
I just want to thank this award. It's for my fellow teammates. They're sitting on the table there with me, the past, present, and also the future upcoming netballers that are coming that will be also representing Fiji. I'm humbled, and I just want to thank God for the talent that He has given me. And
Former sprint king Chonendelai was another inductee into the Hall of Fame. Delai is the only athlete to date to qualify for an Olympic Games under the A standard, and his 100 meters record of 10.26 seconds set in USA in 1997 is yet to be broken.
First of all, I want to thank Fasanok for honoring me with this award. And I miss my 2 person that always behind me, and they passed on. I paid it to them. I paid tribute to them this afternoon. That is my mom and my dad. And
Renowned sports administrators Bobby Tikaram and Christopher Yee were also awarded the Fiji Olympic Order for their tremendous service. It was a special evening to pay tribute to the men and women that have contributed so much to Fiji sports over the years. Salendo Dakadak, FBC Sports.
Some showers were experienced over the Lao Group, the eastern and interior parts of the larger islands today. Elsewhere, fine weather apart from isolated afternoon showers. Tropical disturbance 01F lies slow-moving just to the west of Tokelau. Meanwhile, a trough of low pressure remains slow-moving over Rotuma and extends southeastwards over Wallace and Futuna. Warm temperatures all around Mombasa, a high of 32 degrees. Tomorrow's forecast, fine conditions in the west and showers over the rest of the Fiji group. For Monday, some showers over the interior and eastern parts of the larger islands, possible afternoon or evening showers elsewhere. And the main points again. Chinese President Xi Jinping has signed a number of agreements with Fiji during state visit. Education Minister Dr. Mahendra Reddy welcomes increase in 2015 budget, and opposition leader Rotemu Mukepa commends certain budget initiatives. Now on to our poll question for this week. We're asking, is Fiji's recognition in the international fora improving? Visit our FBC website to take part. Remember, you can send us newsworthy pictures and videos on email citizenseyes@fbc.com.fj or share it with us via Facebook page FBC News. And if you're on Twitter, follow and tweet us your news tips at FBC News or simply hashtag FBC News. That's the news for today. Till tomorrow, join the team again. Mimo the Manda.
Isang bulu bida na moro chumena mataki ko ni rongo ni bibi ko mataki ke misa mapo. Ni ana di sambulu bida na sero ko di sana no churi kilo na moro chumai. Tuna sile. Ni sambula oyo Mr. Ben. Kela pa. Na magikira ni bibi mataka mo ni chikira moro buka meno ono keneliwa ena bulu FM.